You don't have to reach for it. You're already in it. The field has been around you since before you knew what a field was. It isn't some distant concept in a textbook, or a force humming behind the walls of a labit. Is the soft, invisible blanket in which your body rests every night. The electromagnetic field surrounds you, moves through you, and waits for you without condition. It doesn't shout, it doesn't push, it simply is, always. And now, as you lie down, as your muscles ease into stillness and your thoughts slow, their spin, that field continues its quiet hum, holding everything you are without needing thanks or permission. This field is made of two intertwined forces, electric and magnetic. Together, they form a dance that has no end, a waltz that ripples outward in every direction. Wherever there is energy, there is an electromagnetic field. It flows from your lamp, from your skin, from the earth itself. But not all fields are sharp or dangerous. Some, like the ones that surround you now, are calm, ambient, gentle. As you breathe in and out, your body is bathed in these subtle ripples. They do not disturb. They do not demand. They simply exist, like the air, like the gravity, like the warmth your blanket holds in, right now. Even as your eyes flutter and the edges of thought begin to dissolve, your own body is generating a field. Every cell, especially those in your heart and brain, sends out a tiny electric signal, and those signals create magnetic ones. The body, in its own quiet way, glows not in visible light, but in electrical softness. You are a little storm-wrapped. In skin, a pattern of moving charge, and as you rest, that storm becomes calm. The signals slow, the rhythm settles, stillness spreads. Imagine it like this. The day is a kind of noise, motion, heat, friction, tension. All of it shakes the field, not in a damaging way, but in an active one. During the day, your field crackles with intention. Muscles contract, neurons fire, emotions spike and fall. But sleep is the quiet between those sparks, the slow turning down of the volume knob. It's not off, it's never off, but it is less, softer, deeper, like a glowing ember instead of a flame. Outside your window, the earth is spinning, but that spin isn't only physical, it carries charge. The core of the planet generates a magnetic field so vast it shields your body from radiation you'll never see. It's the reason compasses point north, the reason birds migrate in the right direction, and it touches you too, right now, even. Inside your room, even in the stillness, your body is aligned, if only slightly, with this planetary current. Your cells feel it in ways we don't fully understand yet. But you don't have to understand. You only have to trust that you are, not floating on hell. The earth wraps you in its invisible fingers. Your nerves speak in volts, tiny ones, but enough to matter. Enough to carry motion and sensation and awareness from one part of your body to another. Every movement you made today, every memory you called up, every word you spoke of them required currents. And now, as you grow quiet, those currents slow, but they do not stop. You're not turning off. You're changing modes, transitioning from alertness to restoration. Your field is shifting, aligning with rest. Sleep scientists have observed that the brain shifts its electrical rhythm depending on what stage of sleep you're in. Awake, your brain hums in fast, chaotic waves. But as you slip deeper, the waves stretch out. Alpha becomes theta. Theta becomes delta. The field doesn't vanish, becomes smoother. Your thoughts blur, your edges soften. and the waves your brain sends out begin to resemble the calm tides of the sea at night, slow, wide, and rhythmic. You might imagine your brain as a lighthouse, flashing signals to ships, but during sleep it becomes more like a soft glowing buoy, gently pulsing to let the body know, we're still here, just quieter. You are never without a signal, but not all signals are meant to be loud. Some are meant to soothe. Even now, in this moment, the electromagnetic field that surrounds you is being shaped by everything around it, the wiring in your walls, the stars overhead, the phone across the room. But none of that is more powerful than what's happening inside your own chest. Your body is not a passive receiver. It is an emitter, a source, a node in a vast unseen web. And as your thoughts drift and scatter like dust motes in late afternoon sun, you are contributing to the shape of the world's field in a tiny but real way. Let that thought relax you. Let it reassure you. You are not invisible. You are not separate. You are part of something vast and ongoing. You are not in the field. You are the field in motion. A part of it always. A ripple among ripples. A pulse in a fabric that never ends. You've spent the day wrapped in noise, decisions, interactions, effort. But now those layers peel away, bit by bit, breath by breath, until you're just this, a body, a field, a wave of warm voltage drifting toward silence. You don't have to control it. You don't have to do anything at all. The field will keep holding you no matter what shape you take in sleep. So let yourself go. Let the day fall off your shoulders like static melting into quiet. Let the tension in your arms dissolve like mist. Let your breathing become your only signaler, low, even rhythm, sending wordless messages into the night. You are still here. You are still glowing. The field knows, and it does not forget. There's something inside your chest, quiet and constant, that never asks to be noticed. It doesn't knock. It doesn't shout. It simply pulses a soft, unbroken rhythm, a conversation that began before you were born and will continue without pause until your final sleep. This is your heart, not just a pump, but a whisper of electricity moving through muscle, a signal, echoing gently beneath every breath. As you lie down now, the day fading like sunlight beneath water, you begin to feel it not as a thud or a beat, but as presence, as pattern, as the smallest field of light inside you. Your heart generates its own electrical impulses. It doesn't wait for the brain. It starts on its own, in a tiny cluster of cells called the sinoatrial nodia, natural pacemaker. These cells create pulses of voltage that ripple across your heart in perfect timing. The signal spreads, telling each chamber when to contract, and in doing so, it creates motion, flow, life. With each beat, your heart sends not just blood, but information. The pulse is not just pressure, is a wave of electric motion radiating outward, and that wave becomes a field, a soft magnetic aura that surrounds you, small but measurable, gentle but real. Even now, as you rest, that wave continues. Even now, your heart glows. It's easy to think of the brain as the seat of selfhood, the place where everything important happens. But your heart has its own intelligence. It remembers. It adapts. It responds. When you're anxious, your heart races not because it's wrong, but because it listens. And when you feel peace, like now, when the air is still and the room is soft, your heart slows. It enters coherence. The electrical rhythm becomes more even, more harmonious. And when that happens, your entire nervous system follows. You feel better, not because your mind told you to, but because your heart showed the way. Think of it like a duet, the brain and heart singing to each other across the wire of your nerves. During the day, that song might get fast, tangled, full of key changes, but now, as sleep draws near, the melody slows, the rhythm evens out. Your thoughts become quieter because your heart is leading you to stillness. One pulse at a time, the field your heart generates is the largest electromagnetic field produced by the body, stronger than the brain's. It radiates several feet outward from your chest. When others stand close to you, their fields brush against yours. This may be why we feel comfort near certain people, why calm spreads. The heart is not just beating, it's broadcasting soft messages of pace, of presence, of peace, and in sleep, this broadcast deepens. The electric signals remain steady. The intervals between beats become longer, more balanced. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the part that rests and repairs, takes the lead. Your heart is not working less, it's working differently. It's working wisely, like a tide that knows how to rise, but also when to fall. Let your body feel that tide now. Let it pull you inward, away from the chaos of the day. Let it draw you to a quieter shore. You are not drifting alone. You are being guided, beat by beat, into a softer world. Your breath follows your heart, slower, shallower, quieter. Each inhale carries a trace of that electric field. Each exhale releases what you no longer need. You are sinking now, even if you don't feel it. The way your chest rises is no longer urgent. It is rhythmic, circular, smooth. Your body is playing its own music, and you are the listener. And the song is sleep. In the language of physics, voltage is potential, a difference between 2 points, a readiness to move. Your heart is a center of voltage. It is potential, beating. And even as you lie still, even as your limbs sink and your spine finds rest, the potential continues. Not to leap or run or think, but to restore, to nourish, to regenerate. You might not remember this in the morning, but right now your heart remembers for you. It remembers the shape of calm. It remembers the rhythm of safety. It remembers that being alive doesn't require effort, it requires balance. There is no decision to make, no task to complete. The field already exists. The heartbeat already hums. Your only work is to yield, to float, to allow the small electric whisper in your chest to lull you slowly into sleep. And in the dark, nothing is louder than silence. Nothing is warmer than presence. Nothing is steadier than a heart choosing again and again to continue. Sleep now. You are not being forgotten. You are not drifting into nothing. You are being held by the beat beneath your ribs, by the field it radiates, by the soft order that arises even in rest. And all it takes is one more beat, then another, then stillness. Not because you've stopped, but because your heart has found its rhythm, and it is enough. All day. Your body moved like a symphony, picking things up, walking across rooms, reaching, standing, speaking, adjusting, reacting. It happened so effortlessly you may not have noticed, but every gesture, no matter how small, was powered by a silent flicker, by the spark of electricity coursing through you. Not from the outside, not from wires or batteries, but from within. You are lightning wrapped in skin, motion woven from voltage. And now, as your muscles finally let go of the day's demands, that current begins to fade to stillness. Your muscles are not simply bundles of tissue. They are fields of charged cells, waiting for the right signal. Each time you moved your hand today or smiled, or turned your head, a message traveled from your brain to those muscles in the form of an electrical impulse. That impulse zipped down a nerve, like a lightning bolt leaping across open air. At the end of the nerve, the signal released chemicals into the tiny space between nerve and muscle. The muscle cell caught the signal, opened its gates, let in ions, and then movement. A contraction, a pull, a wave, and then, just as quickly, a release. Even now, after the movements have stopped, after your body has settled into stillness, those muscles remember the charge. They remember the rhythm. Your limbs may be quiet, but the electricity that once moved them still hums low and slow beneath the surface. What you feel right now, that warmth in your legs, that soft ache in your back, that quiet hum in your arms, it's not just fatigue. It's the echo of 1,000 electric signals fading into calm. Your body is still wired, still tuned, but no longer fired into action. It is coasting, cooling, letting the field soften, like a storm drifting into rain. You are built from charge. Each muscle fiber is a polarized space, positive on the outside, negative within. At rest, your muscles hold that charge like a held breath, ready for the next command. But now, those charges begin to equalize. The difference fades. No command comes. No contraction arrives. Only rest. Only balance. Like a battery finding equilibrium. The term electrochemical gradient sounds clinical, but it is simply the slope down which your body moves itself. Ions, charged particles, slip in and out of cells like tiny tides. Sodium, potassium, calcium, they trade places, creating flow. That flow becomes thought, becomes breath, becomes motion. Your entire body is a map of charges, shifting and rebalancing. Tonight, as you drift, your muscles are resetting. Their calcium is retreating. Their receptors are quieting. The lightning is gone, but the glow remains. Your body doesn't need to be off, it just needs to be unburdened. And that is what sleep gives you. Not absence, but softness. Even in stillness, your body is an ecosystem of gentle pulses. Muscles twitch in microburst, tiny, involuntary contractions. They are not disruptions. They are signs that your system is settling. The twitch of a foot, the flutter of a finger, the roll of a shoulder, these are the last flickers of the day's electricity being released. Like static leaving a wall sweater, like fireflies dimming. Think of how much power your body used today, not just in motion, but in maintaining readiness. Your muscles were always alert, always charged, always watching for the next command. But now there are no commands, no stairs to climb, no weights to lift, no hands to shake, no keys to turn. The lightning can sleep, and when it sleeps, it restores. Your cells use this time to rebuild. Proteins are folded. Energy stores are refilled. Damaged fibers begin to repair. Sleep is the workshop where all the tools are returned to their places. The scaffolding remains, but the work pauses. Tomorrow, your lightning will return. But tonight, your field is being gently rewired for rest. You might not feel it happening. You don't need to. The restoration is not something you control. It is automatic, like dusk, like tide, like breathing. You are the field and the current and the calm. Let your arms sink. Let your shoulders drop. Let your hands soften, releasing all they gripped today. You don't have to carry yourself anymore. The field will hold you, the current will slow your muscles. Will remember motion, but they are no longer asked to move. Instead, they are asked to heal, to breathe, to hum, to sleep. Each cell is a battery, and each battery now charges in silence. This is what lightning looks like when it rests. Not gone, not silent, just still. And you, too, are still. You are not without power. You are simply conserving it. You are letting the day's voltage dissolve. You are folding back into balance. And there is no more peaceful field than that. Asterisk, your brain, even now, is not silent. It does not sleep the way the rest of your body sleeps. It does not collapse into stillness. Instead, it shifts. It changes frequency. It becomes a dimmer light, a quieter tide, a deeper ocean. If you could see it in this moment, if the air above your pillow were a screen and your mind its projection, you'd see something glowing, an entire web of light pulsing in slow rhythm, patterns rippling like moonlight on dark water. This is the brain's electric language, humming low in the background. Even as you fall away from thought. During the day, your brain speaks in bursts, fast, electric spikes known as beta waves. It is busy then, alert, juggling stimuli, solving problems, planning. But as night approaches and your eyes soften and your breath stretches longer, those fast rhythms begin to slow. Alpha waves rise first, gently washing away the sharpness of alertness. Then theta waves follow, slower still, dreamlike and drifting. And when sleep truly arrives, when your body is far from waking, your brain moves into delta, the slowest waves, the deepest pulses. They sweep across the mind like fog rolling in, like low tide pulling away the last footprints of the day. Your thoughts are no longer shaped into words. They are now feelings, impressions, glimpses. The glowing web does not disappear. It reweaves itself into something less linear, less verbal, more poetic. Memory is not filed away like papers in a drawer. It is replayed, re-experienced, shifted into new configurations. You dream not because your brain wanders, but because it sorts, it processes, it heals, and it does all of this in silence. The brain is electric. Every neuron speaks in sparks. A thought is not just an idea, is an arc of current, a chemical signal released across a synaptic gap, and these arcs form networks, millions of connections firing in patterns that mirror the stars above you. You are a constellation in miniature, and at night the lights remain, but their conversation changes. Consider the hippocampus, the keeper of memory. During REM sleep, it lights up, replaying moments, stitching pieces together. Some fragments are from today, others from months ago. They mix, combine, rearrange. This is why dreams often feel familiar and strange. At once they are woven from the fabric of lived experience, but shaped in a language that doesn't follow daylight rules. And always, beneath it all, is that glowing web, not static, not random, flowing with purpose you may never see, but always feel. Now, as you lie here, your brain is drifting into this new rhythm. Your cortex, once alert and scanning, softens its grip. The limbic system seat of emotion begins to speak louder. The rational mind steps back, and the feeling mind moves forward. You are not losing control. You are returning to a more ancient balance, one where logic rests and sensation takes over. It's important to know this is not shutdown. This is transformation. Your brain does not power off like a switch. It reshapes itself like a river taking a gentler bend. Everything you are is still there, just quieter, softer, wrapped in a different light. The pineal gland begins to release melatonin. This hormone guides you deeper. It doesn't force you to sleep, invites you. It lowers the lights inside. Your mind makes your thoughts translucent, makes your inner world more visible than the outer one. That sense of drifting, of floating, of your limbs dissolving into the bed that is your glowing web, gently folding you inward. And even as your consciousness fades, your brain's repair work begins. Synapses are strengthened or pruned, waste. Proteins are washed away by cerebrospinal fluid flowing through channels that only open in sleep. It's as if your mind becomes a self-cleaning temple, scrubbing the walls, airing the chambers, preparing for another day of experience. You don't have to guide this. You don't even need to be aware of it. You only need to let go. Let the glowing web do what it has always done. Let it catch you. Let it carry you. You are not falling into emptiness. You are being suspended by light. You are being rewritten gently. In dreams, your brain speaks back to you in metaphor. It reminds you what you forgot. It lets you feel what you avoided. It plays scenes you never lived, but maybe needed to. The glowing web becomes a theater, a healer, a soft chorus whispering truths your waking mind could not say aloud. And all the while, the electricity flows, a storm made of silence, a circuit made of sleep. Your brain, once loud, now hums like a lantern burning low in the fog, still alive, still radiant, but just dim enough to dream by. Not everything that touches you leaves a mark. Not everything that shapes you can be seen. Even now, as your eyes rest and your breath deepens, there are waves passing through you quietly, invisibly, softly brushing your skin and organs and bones. They don't disrupt. They don't knock. They are not here to wake you, but to remind you that the universe never stops moving. And even as you lie still, you are a harbor through which countless waves flow. These are electromagnetic waves. They travel at the speed of light. Some you can see like the sunlight that warms your face. Others you cannot, like the radio signals whispering music across the air, or the microwave pulses that reheat your dinner, or the infrared warmth that rises off your skin. And then there are waves even softer, even subtler, the low frequencies. From the Earth's surface, the faint crackle of static in the atmosphere, the natural chorus of frequencies humming like background music behind all life. You do not feel them as pressure. You feel them as presence. You've always been surrounded by them, since before you were born. In the womb, your mother's heartbeat was one wave, her voice another, and the world beyond her skin, an ocean of invisible signals, all shaping you, even before you had words for anything. The truth is, your body is not separate from these waves. It's tuned to them. Your cells have receptors. Your nerves pulse in rhythm. Even your circadian clock's an inner timer that knows when it's day or night relies on waves of light and dark. You are a creature of waves, and tonight, in the hush of your room, those waves are softer than ever, but they are still here right now. As you lie back, there are radio waves from distant stars moving through the walls. There are photons from your bedside lamp bouncing once, twice, 100 times before fading. There are electric fields from appliances gone quiet, pulsing in long, slow arcs. There is the faintest hum from the electric gridder, low, steady tone that's always been there, like the purr of a cat you forgot was in the room. None of this should alarm you. All of it should calm you, because it means you are not alone in the dark. You are cradled by a soft fabric of movement, of resonance, of invisible continuity. The universe is not quiet. It just speaks in frequencies you've learned to ignore. But tonight, you don't need to ignore them. You can let them wash over you. You can feel them, not with your skin, but with your being. The body is a receiver. Your bones are antennas. Your heart responds to magnetic rhythm. Your eyes, even closed, know when light is near. Your cells talk in ions, trading charged particles like notes in a melody. There is a deep intelligence in this sensitivity, not fear, not overstimulation, but tuning, calibration, awareness. Imagine the softest ripple in a pond. Now imagine that ripple, not on water, but on the space around you. That is what these waves are like. They bend around objects, they reflect, they interfere, they hum. Your room may seem still, but it is full of movement, and your body listens. You may not hear the waves, but your nervous system responds to rhythm. This is why music soothes you, why silence can feel so full, why certain places feel off and others feel like home. It's not magic, it's the language of waves, and you've always spoken it without needing to name it. Your brain, in its sleeping state, emits its own waves. They merge with what's around you. The room becomes a kind of cocoon, humming with low frequencies your own. Body's electric lullaby, interwoven with the whispering waves of the outside world. Together, they create a field that is not dangerous, not alien, but intimate. Yours tonight. These waves are not barriers. They are blankets. They are lullabies made of frequency, rhythm, vibration. Let them pull the last edge of wakefulness away. Let them fold your thoughts like paper boats, floating on water. You are not floating through nothing. You are being gently carried. You do not need to understand all the waves. You only need to feel the space they make for rest. And in that space, there is room for sleep. There is room for breath. There is room for the kind of silence that hums. You have always lived in this sea of waves. You have always been part of its music. You don't need to move. You only need to resonate. And you do. You are doing it now. You are lying still now, but the earth beneath you is not. Beneath your floor, beneath the soil, beneath the solid crust that feels so permanent, there is movement, deep, slow, and ancient. And from this movement, something rises. Not a tremor, not a quake, but a gentle field. A magnetic skin stretched over the globe, so wide and subtle that it holds every creature, every ocean, every breath. You do not see it, you do not hear it, but your body knows it's there. It has always known. You were born inside this field, and even now it pulls you gently, not downward, but inward. Earth's magnetic field is more than just a force that makes compasses point north. It is a living veil created by molten iron spinning in the planet's outer core. As this liquid metal moves, it creates currents. Those currents generate a magnetic field, and that field stretches far beyond the surface out past the sky, forming a shield around the planet that deflects harmful particles from the sun. It is invisible, but immense, and it moves through your body every second of every day. Even now, as you lie in your bed, your cells are responding to this pull. Not in ways you can feel directly, but in ways your body understands deeply. Some animals can sense this field outright. Migrating birds follow it across continents. Sea turtles return to the same beaches using its guidance. Even certain bacteria align themselves with the field lines to find the nutrients they need. And though you may not feel the compass swing inside your chest, Your brain contains magnetite tiny crystals, sensitive to the magnetic field. Something inside you still listens, still aligns, still turns quietly toward that silent signal. As you begin to drift, this field becomes a cradle. The signals in your brain slow, and they do so in harmony with the planet's own frequency. There is a rhythm the Earth produces, called the Schumann resonance, a natural vibration that pulses through the atmosphere, generated by lightning and held in the space between the ground and the ionosphere. It hums at about 7.83 Hz, a slow, gentle frequency close to the rhythm of your brain during deep meditation. You are not separate from this. You are tuned to it. Imagine the Earth as a great sleeping animal, its body curled in the vastness of space, its breath deep and steady. And you, curled upon its surface, breathe with it. Every rise and fall of your chest is part of the larger motion. Every beat of your heart echoes faintly into the soil. Every thought you release is caught by the field, woven into its quiet net. You are not lying on the earth, you are lying with it. As the night deepens, your body becomes heavier, not because you are sinking, but because the magnetic pull of stillness is growing. Your muscles soften into it. Your thoughts dissolve into it. The tension that once made you stand upright, hold things, plan, and carry now, it has no purpose. Gravity holds your form, but magnetism holds your rest. It draws the particles of your being into alignment, not rigidly, but gently like threads falling into place on a loom. In this moment, the world is not pressing down on you. It is drawing you in. The field is subtle. It does not instruct or command. It simply exists, an ancient condition of the Earth's core, radiating through oceans and forests, through cities and wires, through the very air that brushes your skin. It enters you quietly, whispering to your cells, reminding them that they belong. Let this awareness wrap around you like a second blanket. Let your breath fall into rhythm with the ground beneath you. Let the planet hold you not just physically, but electromagnetically. You have floated through thoughts. You have ridden light. You have released the sparks from your muscles. And now you are tethered, gently, to the largest, calmest field of all. The magnetic skin of Earth does not pulse with urgency. It hums with age. It moves with slowness. It teaches patience. And as you yield to sleep, you are not losing yourself. You are becoming part of something older, something vast. You are not drifting alone. The Earth is holding you in its frequency, and the pull is soft, and the stillness is enough. Light is not just what you sit, is what you are. Beneath the surface of your skin, beyond the reach of your fingertips, and even now, behind closed eyes, there is light. Not always the kind that blinds or brightens, but the kind that fills, that pulses, that wraps. Your cells speak in it. Your atoms respond to it. And your body, whether you feel it or not, glows gently in its presence right now. As you rest, your body is bathed in light that has bounced from walls, spilled from lamps, or filtered through the atmosphere above. Most of it is now low and soft, dimmed by night, muted by the hour, but it still hums in the room like a memory. Light doesn't vanish. It fades, bends, changes shape. Even the smallest photon continues its journey long after it leaves its source. And you, lying quietly here, are wrapped in its trailing warmth. Your skin absorbs light. It does this all day. And what it doesn't reflect, it takes in and transforms. Some becomes vitamin D, some signals your internal clock, and some simply warms the outermost layer of you. But more than skin, light moves deeper. Even your eyes close. Now remember it. The cells in your retina continue to adjust to the absence of brightness, signaling to the brain that it is time for rest. This is circadian rhythm, but it is also something more intimate, your body's agreement with the sun. From the beginning of life, light has been a kind of teacher. It tells us when to wake, when to sleep, when to move, toward or away. But tonight, it's not telling you anything. It's holding you, not in its full glare, but in its afterglow. The body does not need daylight to feel safe. It only needs to know that the cycle continues, that even in the dark, light still exists somewhere, and inside you it does. Your cells emit light in tiny pulses, called biophotons, barely measurable, but real. It is thought to be part of how cells communicate, how they coordinate processes, silently and instantly across the vast terrain of your body. This internal glow is not bright like a bulb, but more like a shimmer, like the glint of moonlight on deep water. It is a whisper between living things, and you are full of it. Every part of you that lives also shines. Your DNA absorbs light, then lets it go. Your mitochondria pulse with energy made from captured sunlight. The warmth you feel in your chest is not just comfort, it's radiation, softly echoing the heat of the world and your dreams. Those strange, drifting landscapes your mind creates aren't they also made of light? Images, sensations, memories lit from within by something that does not sleep. The mind may turn down its brightness, but it never turns it off. Some scientists believe that consciousness itself may be linked to the flow of light and energy through neural networks. That thought is light-shaped. That awareness is the rhythm of waves colliding and merging, sparking in ways we cannot yet fully understand. Whether or not this is true, it is comforting to know that you are, in every sense, more radiant than you appear. And here, in this stillness, the glow continues, not to wake you, but to warm you, to remind you that you are not empty, that even in complete darkness, you are carrying stars. The photons inside you are not the same ones you absorbed from today. They are new, born of your own chemistry. Light created from breath, from food, from memory. You are a small sun wrapped in skin and drifting into rest. You are not passive. You are not fading. You are transforming. Let the light that holds you soften. Let it bend across your limbs like a gentle ribbon. Let it settle behind your ribs. Like a hearth, you are not losing consciousness. You are stepping through a doorway made of dim glow and quiet pulse. The light that wraps around you does not burn, it rests with you. It waits with you. It dreams with you. And in that shared stillness, you shine. Asterisk breath is the quietest promise your body makes. It is not loud. It is not proud. It is simply there, rising and falling like tides in miniature, tracing a soft signature across your entire being. You don't need to think about it. It doesn't ask for your attention. And yet, it is the first thing you did when you arrived in this world, and the last thing you'll do when you leave it. In between, it writes a story that never stops unfolding, one inhale at a time. Right now, as you lie still, your breath is slowing, not because it must, but because it can. The days behind you, the muscles that moved you have gone quiet. The thoughts that circled are dissolving, and so your breath adapts. It becomes shallower, longer, more rhythmic. It no longer needs to fuel movement. Now it fuels restoration. Each inhale draws in oxygen, that tiny invisible particle your cells crave. Each exhale carries away carbon dioxide, the quiet signature of every cellular act. Your breath is not just air, it is exchange, it is balance. It is the most honest rhythm your body knows. From the first moments of life, every breath you've taken has mattered. Oxygen travels from your lungs into your bloodstream, binds to hemoglobin, and sails through arteries and capillaries to reach even the smallest, most remote corners of you. It doesn't rush, it arrives. And when it does, your cells respond like small fires, catching the wind, using that oxygen to create energy, to power thought, motion, repair. What's left over, carbon dioxide, is carried back, released with each exhale. You are not just breathing air, you are breathing your own history, moment by moment. The air you draw in tonight contains atoms that have circled the globe, drifted through forests, passed over oceans, been exhaled by people you'll never meet. You are sharing breath with the planet, with animals, with clouds, with ancient trees. The nitrogen, the oxygen, the faint traces of everything that has ever lived, they are here. Now, sliding into your lungs, becoming part of you, and your body knows what to do. The diaphragm contracts downward, expanding the lungs like soft balloons. The ribs rise slightly. Then, without effort, the muscles let go, and the air flows back out. This is not work. This is design. This is a rhythm shaped by evolution, perfected over millions of years, tuned to the needs of sleep, of safety, of silence. At night, breath takes on a different tone. It becomes a language without words. In sleep, your breathing deepens during certain cycles, then becomes even shallower during others. During REM sleep, it can even become irregular, mirroring the dance of dreams behind your eyelids, but always it is enough. Your body knows how to breathe without you, and in that knowing, you can rest. This breath you're taking right now is touching every part of you. Oxygen enters not just the bloodstream, but the mitochondria inside each cell. There, it is used to unlock energy from food, to spark the slow, clean fire that keeps you alive. And in this way, breath becomes power. Quiet power, invisible power, a kind of whispering light, fueling even your deepest rest. Let that power wrap around you now. Let the breath flow without resistance. Feel the way your chest rises with permission, not urgency. Feel the way your belly softens on the exhale. There is no need to control it. You are not performing. You are simply being. Each breath is enough. Each breath is healing. And as you sleep, that breath will keep writing. Not in ink, not in sound, but in signals your cells understand. A breath says, "You are safe." A breath says, "You are still alive." A breath says, "You can let go now. There is nothing more to reach for." There is only breath, folding through you like a wave, not crashing, but rocking, not rushing, but circling. You are not separate from it. You are it. You are breath. You are rest. You are the silence between heartbeats and the breeze within your lungs. Sleep now. The breath will carry you the rest of the way. Inside you, a river flows without end. It loops and curls, passes through gates, opens doors, splits into tributaries, and gathers again. It moves in silence, without your permission, without your attention. It began before you could understand it, and will continue long after you forget it. This is your blood, a quiet tide that touches every part of you, that brings you to life, and that never, ever rests, that as you lie down now, this river keeps flowing. Your heart has not stopped. Your vessels have not closed. Your blood still travels, from center to edge and back again. but the current has slowed. Not because it is tired, but because you are safe. When you're still, when the muscles rest, when the thoughts unwind, your circulation shifts. It becomes more efficient, more focused, more soothing. Your body doesn't need to send blood to moving limbs or watchful eyes or tightened jaws. It sends it inward now, to the organs, to the skin, to the parts of you that rebuild, that clean, that dream. Every beat of your heart sends this blood forward, but it's not just a pump and a pipe. It's an orbiter system of cycles, of currents, of decisions made not by thought but by need. Arteries carry rich, oxygenated blood out from the heart, bright and full of life. Capillaries, tiny as threads, deliver it to the farthest corners, fingertips, scalp, the tips of your toes. Then veins gather what remains and bring it home, darker, quieter, ready to be renewed. It's not linear, it's circular, it's elegant, and you don't feel most of it not directly, but sometimes, in stillness, you can sense it. The pulse behind your ears, the warmth in your hands, the flutter in your belly. These are not distractions. They are reminders that the system still works, that the inner ocean still flows. What's carried in this tide is not just oxygen. It is everything. Hormones that whisper instructions, glucose that fuels movement, white blood cells that patrol and protect, signals of sleep and signals of waking, messages to heal, to repair, to release. Your blood is a courier. It visits every part of you with news from the rest, and it listens to dot when you are anxious. Blood rushes to your muscles, preparing for action. When you are calm now it redistributes. It returns to the gut, to the skin, to the quiet organs that do their best work at night. Your brain, too, drinks deeply of this river. Each beat brings nourishment. Each pause gives time to absorb it. Even in sleep, your brain needs this flow, especially in sleep. Waste products are flushed out. Nutrients are delivered. The very act of dreaming is sustained by a gentle current. The vessels themselves are not passive. They respond to temperature, to pressure, to emotion. They widen and narrow. They allow more or less. They change the very path of the river, rerouting based on what the moment requires. And in this moment, the requirement is peace. There is something beautiful about knowing that you are being nourished without effort, that even in unconsciousness, your body is at work on your behalf. The blood moves because it knows the way. It doesn't ask questions. It doesn't hesitate. It simply turns and returns and turns again. Let yourself feel that orbit now, not as a racing pulse, but as a tide beneath the surface. Let your hands grow warmer. Let your feet become heavier. Let your chest, with every beat, send quiet into your limbs. You are not drifting away. You are being held within. You are not empty. You are full of motion, of rhythm, of life flowing in circles, and all of it is enough. You don't need to push. You don't need to steer. Your blood knows where to go. It's been traveling your entire life. It is the river that never forgets its path. So rest. Let the current continue. Without you, let the orbit hold you, rock you, cool you, warm you. Your body is not still, it is circling, and you are the center. Always carried, always complete. Asterisk, your skin. This boundary between you and the world is not just a covering. It is an organ of memory, a map of sensations, a living archive of the places you've been and the air you've breathed. It stretches quietly over you now as you lie still, and though the room is calm, your skin is still listening to temperature, to pressure, to softness and space. Even now, in this moment of stillness, it remembers. Throughout the day, your skin has been in conversation with the world. It has felt the warmth of sunlight and the chill of conditioned air. It has sensed texture, weight, water, and wind. It has bristled at cold and opened in heat. It has carried the pressure of clothing, of handshakes, of brushes against strangers and loved ones. It has negotiated the entire outside world on your behalf without you needing to think about it. But now, in the quiet, it does something else. It resets. It lets go of the stories it carried. It allows sensation to soften into rest. Skin is not a wallet, is a field. It is filled with receptors that detect vibration, temperature, stretch, and pain. There are nerve endings so fine that they can feel the flutter of a breeze or the passing shadow of a cloud. Your fingertips are more sensitive than almost anything in nature, capable of detecting textures invisible to the eye. But in sleep, the volume on these senses turns down, not off just low enough to let you drift. The outside world becomes less demanding. Your body's attention turns inward, and yet the skin still remembers. It remembers the warmth of the sun earlier today. Even if you were indoors, it remembers the way light filtered through a window, warming the side of your face. It remembers the texture of your clothes, the coolness of a floor, the tickle of your own hair against your neck. It remembers the air whether it was dry or damp, crisp or thick. Skin stores these sensations like impressions in soft clay, and in rest, it reprocesses them not as active data, but as comfort. The memory of warmth becomes a kind of internal fire. The memory of coolness becomes a gentle hush. Your skin also communicates with the world through tiny muscles, those that raise goosebumps when you're cold or moved, or when your body prepares to hold itself tighter. It sweats to cool you. It tightens to preserve heat. It expands when you relax. And in this moment, as your breath slows and your body grows heavier, your skin is opening. It is softening. It is allowing rest to settle in. There is a theory that our skin, through its countless nerves and blood vessels, plays a role in regulating not only body temperature, but emotional temperature too. When you feel safe, your skin warms. When you feel seen, it tingles. When you're touched with care, it seems to pulse. These are not metaphors. These are real physical responses, that the boundary between body and feeling is paper thin. And now, as the lights dim and the outside world fades, your skin carries the final echoes of contact into the quiet. Even the air in the room tonight leaves a trace its density, its scent, its subtle brush across your limbs. And your skin, ever awake, notices. It doesn't react with alarm. It simply adjusts. Your blood vessels shift. Your pores adapt. You are a living thermostat, not only balancing your internal heat, but responding gently to the environment with wisdom, shaped over millions of years. Let yourself sink into that wisdom now. Let the fabric against your back become part of you. Let the blanket be not a barrier, but an extension of your skin. Let the space between your fingers and the air above them feel like invitation, not emptiness. Your skin is not alone, it is being cradled by the atmosphere itself, wrapped in a room that is not hostile but held in balance. Everything outside of you, for this moment, is simply background. Your skin no longer needs to protect you. It only needs to breathe. As your body slides deeper into sleep, the sensory load decreases, but the skin does not shut down. It continues to act as a threshold, mediating what comes in and what stays out. And in sleep, it heals. Small wounds begin to repair. Moisture is balanced. Cells regenerate. New skin begins to rise, layer by layer, to take the place of the old. This renewal happens without your will. It is a kindness built into the fabric. Of your biology, you may not feel it, but your skin is still working. It is releasing heat. It is exchanging ions. It is whispering signals back to the brain, telling it all is well. And in return, the brain sends comfort, sends calm, sends dreams. You are not cut off from the world. You are being reintroduced to it more slowly, more gently, through the finest membrane of sensation. And so you can rest now. The skin that carried the weather, that held the handrails, that braved the wind and the brightness and the friction of the day, it is at ease. It is not alert. It is not armored. It is soft, open, and light. Sleep inside that skin. Feel the slight warmth in your chest, the coolness along your arms, the way your face feels different from your toes. These are not distractions. These are lullabies. This is your body saying, you are here, you are whole, and you are ready to drift. Let the skin hold the memory of the day for you. Let it melt into the surface beneath. You let it breathe for you. Let it forget, and when the morning comes, it will be ready again, fresh, renewed, waiting to feel light again. But for now, it simply rests like you. Even as your eyes close, and your thoughts grow distant, and your limbs sink deep into the softness of rest, your ears remain quietly awake. They are the last sentinels, watchful, patient, attuned to the world, but not in tension, not in fear. The ears do not stay open to keep you on guard. They remain open because they trust the sound of the world to sing you to sleep. Hearing is the first sense to arrive in the womb and the last to leave as life draws to a close. It is primal. It is continuous. The ear is always listening, even when you're not paying attention. You may not hear it consciously, but sound is always there, vibrating the air around you, wrapping its invisible arms around your head, pressing against the delicate drums deep within your skull. And your ears receive it all, the soft hum of a distant appliance, the creak of wood cooling into silence, the shifting of air in a room that has grown still. Every sound is a ripple, and your body is a pool that notices. Tonight, your ears are not searching, they are drifting. They are tuning in to a quieter register, one that does not need to analyze or name what it hears. You are not decoding language. Now, you are not passing alerts. Instead, your hearing stretches wide like the surface of a lake reflecting moonlight. The small sounds of night become your lullaby, the hush of your breath, the subtle rhythm of your heartbeat in your pillow, the invisible shivers of distant noise fading into distance. This is not emptiness. This is sound turned to softness. The structure of your ear is a marvelous unfolding spiral of cartilage and canals that direct sound inward, from the outer ear through the canal, across the eardrum to the tiny bones. Of the middle ear, the malleus, incus, and stapes. These microscopic levers magnify vibrations, sending them deeper into the fluid-filled cochlea. And there, inside that curled shell, lies a miracle. Tiny hair cells that bend with the waves, converting sound into electric signals that travel straight to your brain. A physical ripple becomes an idea, a tone becomes a memory, a noise becomes comfort or caution or calm. Even now, as your conscious mind fades, this system is still at work. But it no longer filters sound through judgment. It does not ask, is that a voice? Is that a threat? Is that something I must respond to? It simply listens, and what it hears it lets pass like water over smooth stones, unless something unusual pierces the pattern, a sudden clang, a voice, a cry your brain will not stir. The ear stays open, so the rest of you can close in sleep. The auditory system continues to send signals, but the brain chooses not to act. It registers sound without reaction. It says, yes, I hear you, but I do not need to rise. This is the boundary between sleep and safety. The ancient animal inside you trusts the ear to watch the door, and so you, as a whole, can surrender. Some sounds even help you sleep. A fan, a distant train, rain tapping gently on windows. These are not disruptions. These are reminders that the world continues, slowly, steadily, in your absence. These sounds are like rocking chairs for the mind, repetitive, cyclical, soft. They mirror the rhythm of breath, the rhythm of rest. They guide you in, deeper and deeper, until the noise of the day dissolves completely. There is a reason lullabies exist, a reason we hum to infants, a reason whispered reassurances soothe the frightened and the grieving. The ear is not just a sensor, it is a comfort, a portal through which love enters without form. The human voice, even softened by sleep, carries more than sound. It carries tone, safety, warmth, and even in dreams we hear it. Your dreaming mind does not stop listening. Sometimes real sounds make their way into your dream world, becoming part of the narrative, weaving through your images like threads. A sound outside your window might become the ocean in your sleep. A loved one's footstep might become a meeting in a distant hallway of your dream. The boundary between outer sound and inner world is thin, and your ear walks that edge. As you lie here now, the air carries no sharpness, only stillness. Let it enter gently. Let it pass. Let the ear continue its ancient work, not to wake you, but to cradle you in sound. You do not need silence to sleep. You only need softness. You only need sound that does not demand. And so let yourself listen, not with attention, but with openness. Let each sound pass like a breeze. You are not alone in this dark. The world is whispering still. And your ears, those curled shells, those patient spirals, are floating with you. No one knocks, no one calls. There is only breath. There is only hush. There is only the low, endless music of existence. You may sleep now. The ear will listen, and you will drift. Asterisk, as you drift deeper into sleep, you cross a boundary. The world outside fades not completely, not forever, but enough to let the world within begin its slow bloom. Your breath, steady now, moves like a tide. Your limbs lie warm and still. Your thoughts loosen their grip. And somewhere, quietly, without your bidding, a dream begins. You don't summon it. You don't construct it. It arrives, fluid and strange, stitched from memory, emotion, noise, light, scent, and imagination. Its shape isn't fixed. It grows in motion. It may begin in a place you remember and end in a place you've never seen. It may speak in symbols or whispers, in colors or silence. But however it moves, however far it drifts, it has purpose. Sleep is not absence. It is transformation, and dreams are the soft mechanics of repair. While the body rests, dreams go to work. They patch, they sort, they archive, they renew. During the REM phase of sleep, when your eyes dart beneath closed lids and your body is paralyzed in gentle suspension, your brain becomes brighter than it is during the day. Neurons fire in patterns unique to dreaming. Memories are replayed, reorganized, and stored. Emotions that tangled themselves around your heart are teased loose and laid flat. Some dreams are vivid, others are lost before waking, but all of them matter. They are not accidents. They are processes stitched carefully by biology to ensure that the mind and body remain in dialogue, even during deep rest. Dreams heal not through magic, but through rhythm. They are your nervous system singing itself back into harmony. Throughout the night, your brain cycles through stages of sleep, and with each return to REM, dreams rise again, weaving their patterns. The earlier ones may be fragmented, the later ones more coherent. Some may revisit the day's events, reshuffling pieces into strange new forms. Others may dip into deeper wells-old memories, unsaid words, unfinished thoughts. In this theater of the mind, everything is allowed to play out without consequence. It is rehearsal, it is release. But dreams are not just mental housekeeping. They also have an effect on the body. Emotional resolution, even when unconscious, reduces stress hormones. Vivid imagery can influence heart rate, breathing, and muscle tone. Lucid dreams, those rare, conscious voyages through the sleeping world, have even been shown to activate motor regions in the brain. Your sleeping self is not idle. It is becoming, and the benefits ripple outward. After a night of deep, dream-filled sleep, the immune system is stronger. Wounds close more efficiently. Muscles rebuild more completely. You wake clearer, lighter, more able to meet the day. This is not because the dream itself did the healing, but because dreaming signaled to the body, now is the time to repair. It is easy to dismiss dreams as strange story scenes that vanish with the light, but they are more than narrative. They are chemistry, electricity, memory, emotion. They are the felt record of a body rebuilding itself in silence. Each night you disassemble, and each night dreams guide you gently back together. Right now, even as your awareness slips, the dreaming has begun. Your brain is bathing in serotonin and acetylcholine. Stress fades. Muscles go slack, and inside you, the weaving begins. It's not a story you need to follow. You can let it go. Let the dream be what it wants to be. It is not for solving, it is for stitching. Let this be your fabric now. Let your breath thread each thought into silence. Let your chest rise, then fall like a needle passing through cloth. Let your mind unfold, not outward, but inward toward wholeness. You are not escaping anything. You are being remade, not from scratch, but from strength. Your skin, your bones, your muscles, your nerves, they are settling into new calm. Your heart is recalibrating. Your breath is syncing with the rhythm of peace. Your brain is filing away the noise, drawing curtains around the restless parts of you, and bathing the rest in quiet light. And in the center of all that stillness, a dream's strange, quiet fragilifts, and floats like a thread on air dot. Let it come, let it wander, let it mend. You are not broken, but even the unbroken must be rewoven. That is what dreams are for. They do not explain, they do not argue, they only wrap the soul in gentle. Night, you are safe here, you are whole, and the stitching has already begun. You feel it, even if you can't name it, the difference between the clock on the wall and the time in your chest. One ticks forward with clean, even certainty, slicing the night into measurable portions. The other drifts, lingers, forgets, slows, and folds back into itself. It is not disorder. It is another kind of rhythm older, quieter, slower than anything you can wear on your wrist. This is the time that lives in your bones, dot deep within you, beyond muscle and blood. Beneath the layers of skin and sensation, your skeleton waits. It does not move, but it holds. It does not speak, but it remembers. Your bones are not static structures, they are alive. They are in constant, silent dialogue with your body, responding to stress, supporting motion, and quietly renewing themselves, without asking for attention. And they keep time differently than the rest of you. While your skin renews itself every few weeks, and your blood cells recycle every few months, the tissue of your bones renews over years. Some parts take a decade, others take longer still. They are not in a hurry, and neither are you not now. Tonight, your bones are still. They ask for nothing. They carry nothing. They simply cradle you. But within their chambers, those hollow spaces inside your arms, your legs, your hips, and your spine, something continues. Bone marrow, deep and red and hidden from sight, continues its work. It produces blood cells, shaping the very life that moves through you. This is slow magic, quiet chemistry, and it moves at a pace no clock can measure. Your bones also carry stories. Each step you've ever taken, each pressure you've ever placed, each fall or stretch or strain, they remember it all. Not as emotion, but as geometry, as structure, as shape. And over time, they've grown to accommodate your habits. They've adapted to you. When you walk, your bones meet the ground first. When you curl into bed, they take your shape and allow your weight to settle. Even now, in stillness, they are holding you exactly as you need to be held. Let yourself feel that support, not as hardness, but as presence. Beneath every softness of flesh, beneath every rise and fall of your breath, your bones remain calm, unchanged, unbothered by thought or movement. They do not judge the hour. They do not keep pace with schedules. They align instead with planetary time stone, time, tree time, drift and fossil time. This is not metaphor. Your bones are made from minerals, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, shaped by ancient processes, borrowed from soil and sea and food and star. When you nourish yourself, you are feeding the stone inside you. When you sleep, you are allowing that stone to rest without bearing your weight. This rest is not idle, it is necessary. The pressure of waking life constantly shapes your bones, pressing and pulling and signaling them to grow stronger. But in sleep, the pressure lifts. The internal scaffold of your being has a chance to breathe, and bones do breathe, not with lungs, but with exchange. Their surface is porous, like coral. Nutrients enter, waste products leave. Hormones, like osteocalcin, are released from within, playing quiet roles in memory, emotion, and glucose regulation. Your bones are part of your endocrine system. They don't just hold you up, they shape how you feel, so much from something so silent. So now, in this silence, let yourself slow to their pace. Let your thoughts match the rhythm of marrow. Let your pulse relax to the tempo of the femur. Let your worries fall away, like dust from the surface of stone. You are not a machine that needs winding. You are not a clock with fixed hands. You are a cavern filled with soft light, held together by pillars of patient time. You are resting inside your own architecture, and it is enough. There is no rush now. The dreams have passed, the muscles have quieted, the senses have softened, and here, in the deepest part of night, you feel it's a slow, unmeasured time that flows not forward but inward. The time in your bones, not divided, not wasted, just held, just witnessed, just turning slowly, as all ancient things do, asterisk, at the farthest edge. of sleep, just before the world returns, there is a silence unlike any other. It is not the absence of sound, not the blank space between noises, but a deeper kind of quieter stillness that hums with the potential of everything that hasn't happened yet. You lie within it now, weightless and suspended, your breath the only anchor, your body gently cooled by the rhythm of rest. In this silence, there is no time, no urgency, no direction. It is the calm place where all motion waits. You don't normally reach this place when you're awake. Even in moments of calm, the waking world asks for movement, for reply, for readiness. But here, in the hush of near dawn, your body does not prepare, it simply is. This is not stillness born from fatigue. It is stillness born from completion. Your systems have done their work. Your thoughts have been gently filed away. Your breath continues its slow procession. And all that remains is a pause so full it feels like a beginning. Your muscles are now in their lowest tone, resting without signal. Your heart beats without rush. Your blood moves without strain. Even your brain, so busy even in dreams, has softened. The chatter has quieted. The echoes have faded. There is no need to imagine anything now. No stories to finish. No shapes to chase. This is the part of the night when your body listens to nothing but itself and finds no alarms, no questions, no demands. It is not asleep in the way it was hours ago. It is not awake either. It is paused, balanced, hovering between the tides. Scientists sometimes call this ultradian silence a moment within the sleep cycle when energy, conservation, and cellular repair are at their peak. But you don't need a name for it. You only need to feel it. The floating sensation, the almost weightlessness, the sense that you could sleep forever, not out of weariness, but because there is nowhere else more important than this quiet. Inside this pause, the laws of motion seem to bow their heads. Newton's universe, so defined by push and pull, by force and inertia, slows. The arrows of time that point so sharply forward begin to bend, not backward, just inward. Time does not stop here, but it becomes irrelevant. Your cells are still working, molecules still move, but nothing is rushing. Nothing is arriving. Everything is simply waiting and watching and continuing in peace. Your body, after all, is not only motion. It is preparation for motion. Every tendon, every joint, every bone is a lever, a hinge, a fulcrum. But none of them are needed now, and so they wait. And in that waiting, something beautiful occurs, a kind of cellular reverence, a stillness that nourishes rather than idles. Even your senses, which spent the day open to light and sound and scent, are resting now in their neutral state. Your eyes are closed not just to block out the world, but to signal to the brain, we are not watching now. Your ears, still tuned, let sound pass through like wind. Your skin feels only the blanket's weight and the mattress beneath you, and the soft equilibrium of temperature that no longer shifts. You are held. You are whole. You are in a pocket of time where the only task is being. And what a generous task that is. This is the stillness that makes motion possible. Without it, there would be no strength, no clarity, no preparation. Motion, without pause, is noise. But pause, this kind of pause, is music waiting to begin. It is a breath held before the first note, a wave at its highest point before the fall. And you, resting here, are not the note or the wave or the breath. You are the moment before all of them, full, ready, timeless. Let that fullness hold you now. Let it bloom behind your ribs and along your spine and in the quiet of your neck and jaw. Let the silence surround you, not as emptiness, but as everything held still for just a moment longer. There is no need to stir yet. The world will return. The sun will rise. The muscles will flex. The lungs will quicken. But not yet. You are still within the deep chamber of stillness. The place where motion begins again, not because it must, but because it wants to. Stay here just a little longer. Let your breath remain slow and even. Let your thoughts remain far and faint. Let your body remember what it means to wait, not in fear, not in impatience, but in peace. There is no clock here. There is only readiness in repose. This is your closing breath, not of the day, but of the night. The silence that wraps you now will follow you forward, not as sleepiness, but as calm, not as slowness, but as presence. The silence where all motion waits has stitched itself inside you, and when you wake, it will still be there, quiet as marrow, still as starlight, faithful as breath.